Hello there. Welcome back to Minecraft Hardcore, The Island Life. This is now episode 15. Today, let's see if our map's updated here. Whoop. Yeah, just a bunch of trees grew. What have I done since the last stream? Not too much, just a little bit of quality of life upgrades to this area. So we expanded our bulk storage. I made an input item elevator for dropping off the potions. So now I don't have to run around and hit the button. I just put the potions in here. They elevator up to the dropper, or dispenser I should say. And I moved the button over and put a signal tower to trigger the dispenser down in the ground here. So now we don't have to go all the way to the back, click the button, run around the machine to use the XP machine now. So that's just a nice little quality of life. I added a light for this, because every once in a while I'll be using the XP machine and I'll just leave it running to unalive the silverfish while I do other things, and then come by and just grab up the XP quick and heal my stuff. But sometimes I leave this thing running. So the indicator light's nice, and then the indicator light up there is just reading the last hopper in line that's feeding the dispenser potions. So that's just an indicator light saying the system's currently full and you do not have to put any more potions in. And then if we use the machine a couple of times and then that hopper empties out completely, the light will go out, and that'll kind of signal me that, oh, I should prime the machine with more potions. Expanded, just I think we put one or two more rows of chests in. It's still not automated or anything, still just manual storage, but I just wanted to get a little more organized as we are farming more. See, like a lot of this is empty. Oh, that reminds me, seeing all this bamboo. I did another AFK session overnight, so we still have to check that in. I just left it running overnight while I went to bed, and then shut my game off in the morning to go to work. I still have not checked in on stuff. I guess I wasn't that close to the lava farm, so it makes sense that it's not full. But oh yeah, I built a lava farm. Very simple. The lava source block, it has to be a full lava source. If it's running lava, it'll still do the particle effect, but you won't actually get lava. And then these are just cauldrons that are in the ground, and then I can't like walk onto them really. Like I can walk onto the edges, but I can't fall in the cauldrons. So it's pretty safe in here. And I just keep a bunch of buckets here. I've already got a full barrel and a half of lava, and you just scoop it all up, and then the lava just drips. I just need more dripstone to finish off the farm. But other than that, we got a lava farm now, and we got the cobble and stone generator. Let's see, this box is already full of iron. Nice. That's pretty good. Almost another full chest. I don't know if this farm was close enough. No. That's okay. How much bamboo did we get? Ooh. That chest was empty, so that was almost a full double chest of bamboo overnight. But now, the main reason why I did the AFK session, both these amethysts should be fully grown. Hopefully. Oh yeah. Sweet. So we should definitely have, so inventory's empty. Let's see how many shards we can get. There are ways you can kind of like automate this. It's just very difficult to do. and you don't get nearly as much. Like, they have it made so that if it's like harvested with redstone means, you only get like 1 or 2 shards. But if you use a pickaxe with fortune, holy smokes, that's a tongue twister, you can get up to like, I think 10 shards. So I just come in here, and once again, to me this is like gardening. It's just a nice, slow, easy process away from the usual hustle and bustle of Minecraft. You know, it's nice, it's easy. You get a bunch of shiny stuff. It makes a cute little magical sound. Ding ding. That's probably one of my like favorite farms to tend to, even though it takes, if the chunks are constantly player loaded, it takes about a Minecraft week. So about 2.5 to 3 hours of in-game IRL time just to have this farm ready for harvest. Fully ready, you know what I mean? Because it's all generate or like random tick. Like anything that grows in Minecraft, I suppose. But much, much slower than any crop, right? So it can only usually come down here, oops, and do a harvest if I do an overnight session. Because this side of the farm is, or the island I should say, this side of the island I'm not in as much, I'm not running around it as much, I'm not building in this corner as much, so it's not loaded as much, right? So the only time we get to come down here, this is only the second harvest I've ever done, because, well, I mean, we just made the farm, but because it takes so long to grow, like I said, it's like a week in game, so you know, that's about, I'm so good at parkour. Oh, I'm so good at parkour. Did I get those crystals? I hope I got them. I did. Okay, good. Now to the other room. Oh yeah. Looks like a crazy like spell. Like purple lightning or something. I do not have scaffolding in this room. Instead I have like parkour blocks. Parkour! 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 Because, you know, I'm so good at Minecraft parkour. But talent is practice, right? So the more we do parkour, the better we'll become at it. And you have to be very, like, gentle with this farm. Like, you can't just swing your pickaxe around wildly, because if you break the amethyst block, it's GG's. You can't even silk touch these blocks. I found that out the hard way when they first introduced amethyst. I was like, oh yeah, came down here with my silk touch pick. I silk touched all these blocks up, and found out the hard way when I put them back in my little farm area where I was just gonna come in and be able to, everything was in a nice line, nice and easy. And then I was like, huh, why is it not growing? And then I found out the hard way that once you like break this block from its original spawn spot, it just turned into regular amethyst block. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some scaffolding in this room. Because this is not ideal. Can I reach? Ooh, I can just reach it. Alrighty. How much did we end up with? At least a stack. Let's find out. Bah. Oh, say less. Look at that. Yeah, boy. Alright, let's finish making our batch of tinted glass and go finish off the creeper farm. Yay! Also, I found a new way to make my tree farm. You just spam these down, just put all your oak saplings down, and eventually they like grow themselves into a clump like this. And then, because we're using tree capitator, I don't know how it defines a tree, but I can like chop down like a quarter of this tree clump with like one swoop. It eats durability, obviously, because we have tree capitator set up so that it's not overpowered. It still uses full durability of however many blocks you take out. But I went to go harvest wood the other day off camera, and I hit one tree, and the whole, like, not the whole, but like a quarter of that tree farm just exploded, and I was like, what the heck just happened? So yeah, it's a super easy way to harvest wood. You just spam all the saplings, and oh yeah, we're making glass. Need to grab said glass. Send a new box. Where is it? There it is. Oh, I think I have glass over here already. I digress. Oh yeah, tons of glass over here. Boop, 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 boop. That, I think we're pretty dang close. We're gonna start it anyways. We will start it. Yeah, those can go in there, why not? Alrighty, let's grab up all of our fancy tinted glass. Whee! Head over to the creeper farm. I don't know, I just think that with the glass and being able to see like the bars, this like spawn, we have a boat for this. Being able to see the like spawn platforms, I don't know, it looks like a computer piece or something, you know? So I think it would look pretty cool surrounded in the tinted glass rather than just blocks like everything else. Alrighty, let's get working. First we have to rip up all of our old half slabs. We'll probably lose a bunch of these, but that's fine. Well, I guess they'll just fall down into the hoppers. Whatever ones do fall into the farm. I'm debating, should I put down trapdoors every 3 blocks to block spider spawns? Nah, I'm not worried about top efficiency for creeper farms. There's too many too many times where you build some crazy creeper farm. It's 10 million gunpowder an hour, and then you run it once and you never run your farm again. So you know what? I'm not worried about spider proofing that. It'll be a byproduct of our creeper farm, and if it quote unquote slows down the rates, like, that's fine. That is fine by me. Because even with one overnight session that I ran here, and it wasn't even, it was obviously not even glassed in or walled in, so the farm was only truly running at night. But I did one overnight session here, and I got like, can't even remember, probably like at least a row of gunpowder in a double chest. I think it was more. I ended up making around like 10 or 12 stacks of rockets, and I still have a bunch of gunpowder left over. So I'm not looking, and it's just me on this world, you know, so I'm not looking for 10 million gunpowder an hour, top efficiency. Oh, you should have done XYZ's design. It gets absolute insane rates. It's like, yeah, okay, but by the time you, like, I'm sure that farm is like, oh, build it at the bottom of the world, because the world scans, or the world spawns from the bottom up, and, you know, it's like all this extra work. And like I said, I don't want to build a farm that I'm gonna run one time and then be like, good, never again. Like, I want to be able to come over to a farm and be like, oh, I need gunpowder. I'm gonna go AFK at the old gunpowder farm. But I can already kind of watch in my peripheral vision. You can see the shadows getting darker on the first couple of rows there. Gotta keep your eyes out, you know? You don't want something spawning in, coming over and saying hi. Not that it matters. With Feather Falling 4, when we're surrounded by water, we'd survive. But this should help the rates of the farm a lot. And I was gonna, like, this was inevitable, me walling it in. I just didn't want to do it with stone, because I always end up making a big stone box. And, you know, this is already turning into a big stone box. I am going to do wall art on it still. Like, we're still going to do, like, the grayscale iron golem. Probably, well, obviously upscaled, too. So, like, once all these walls are complete, like, once the whole farm complex is boxed in, I want to upscale an image of an iron golem, but it all in grayscale, like different stone tones, and, like, you know, andesite, stone, brick, and do some, like, wall art of at least, because, like, the farms that are in there, okay, maybe we could do, we'll leave the open side open, but on this side we can do, like, a villager in grayscale. On the other side we could do the iron golem in grayscale, and then on the back we could do, like, I don't know, I guess sugar cane, and it'll just help add pizzazz, you know, add character to like just a flat plane. I'm sure I could also like brainstorm stuff like, you know, facades that we could build around all the farms. That's not what I want. I want the farms to look semi-industrial, you know? I want them to look business casual. Because it's like, this is just the beginning, you know? Like, the point of this hardcore playthrough is I played this game for like, I don't even know how long. It came in 2009. I was a hater for a couple of years because I was so into Lego, and I was like, if I want to build something with blocks, I'll just go buy a Lego set. But I was a hater for a year, and then I saw the light. I saw the beautiful square sun shining down on me, and I've been playing this game since 2011. So it's been quite the evolution. Fun to watch, fun to play. But the challenge of the whole point of doing the hardcore playthrough is I wanted to challenge myself, of course, but more prove to myself that I could beat this game in a hardcore. You know? And it took I think this is the 7th playthrough attempt. And my last one, I was also doing very well. And then a creeper exploded when I was just in my first basic iron gear. And I got completely blown up. And I almost didn't continue hardcore again. I was gonna take a big break from it, and then it was actually my little brother was talking to me about him watching my streams, and it was actually him talking about and like seeing his enthusiasm, the enthusiasm that he had, because in his voice when he talked about it, but more on his face, and the joy he presented me, I'm like getting emotional. And it's like one person, but it fueled me. Oh wow, what the heck? 1 second here. It lit a fire back. And it was only, it was days. Yeah, I actually didn't even know that hardcore playthrough had ended, and I like spoiled it for him. But that simple conversation is what drove me to try this again. And now here we are, almost 500 days in. And that's pretty special. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh. Anyways, that lit fire in me to try this again. And now here we are, almost 500 days in to a hardcore playthrough. So this island of farms is basically just the beginning of what I want this world to become, you know? Like, this is just going to supplement this starter island, as far as I'm concerned, is just going to be the fuel, the starter to this world. Like, I want to be able to fly around, find somewhere that's super ideal for building, that inspires us, you know? I don't want to just settle and be like, oh, I want to build a castle. I'm going to build a castle here. Like, I want to fly around this hardcore world in my elytra, and I want to find an ideal place to build a castle or a dwarven city or a you know, neon cyberpunk town or city, I should say, or an old country town. Hello, spiders. Anyways, moral of this story is, before I got all emotional, and big shout out to the people that do watch. Like, you are appreciated, you know? But I want this island to, like I said, look business casual, because that's what it is. It's farms, you know? They're meant to produce goods. So I want them to look business casual. I want them to, like, look clean, but I want you to be able to look at them and see a machine, you know? That's why we've kind of settled on this, like, smooth stone and glass, so that you can, like, see when you walk up to something, you're like, what is this? Like, I don't want one of our machines to look like a farmhouse and a silo. It's like, I want you to see the lava on the side. I want you to see the cauldrons in the floor. You know, I want you to, like, I want intrigue. As you're running by something, it's like, what is that? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, if I stop and take a little bit of a long look at it, there's enough visual evidence, redstone torches peeking through glass. Oh, are you kidding me? We're so close. We were at the ceiling. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? We were almost done. No. That's fine. Let's head down. Oh, if you didn't know, as long as you're centered on it, scaffolding breaks your fall. You know what I mean? Alright, let's pop into here. First into this room. Turn on the trident tumbler. Hello. Hello. What's happening? There you go. And yes, we do get experience because it is considered a player unalive. But down here we're further away from the spawn platforms, so it can help the rates a little bit. Yeah, see, we got all of our slabs that fell. But I also have to rearrange those two back chests so that they evenly distribute into these two bottom, because I find that they get unalived on the left side a lot more than they do on the right side. I'm not sure why, but it is how it is. This is our old junk chest. Do we have any chests over here? I guess technically we have chests over here. Might as well. There's not much more work to do other than glass that we're missing. But we need to wait for our farm again. I guess we'll take this with us. So we want to rearrange. We can make this a double chest. Right? Oh, that's why I set these up silly. Oh. Oh, well. Oh, that's unfortunate. Now we have to put those back. Okay, now it makes sense. Well, we're still gonna put it in this way. No, wait. What am I doing? That's wrong. It has to be like this. Silly me. But now that should change it anyways. I didn't realize that that one was pointing to that one. And so it was only when they would get unalived on this one specific hopper is when it would go into this chest. So that should solve that. Alright. Hard work done. We do have to go and rethrow those tridents though. Oh, this could be a problem. Oh no. Okay, one sec. We're gonna have to plug the machine. We have to deal with this without them blowing up. Okay. Now we just block it off for a sec so we can work. Nart took one of our blocks. What the heck? Where did it go? What did I mess up? Okay. We're reworking this. Thank you. I can hear him falling on the dirt. Okay, we need that one pointing down. This one pointing into that one. We need this one pointing down. Oh, I won't be able to. I'm stuck. Okay, well, we can do this one from the ground. wonder how many creepers are gonna be on that dirt when we release them again. Okay, now from here we can start with our chest. Now if we put a double chest this way, what that will allow is even distribution into our actual bulk part of the storage. Oh, what am I doing? Getting ahead of myself here. Now we can just go beep, boop, bop, beep. Very nice. Why is this here? Very nice, very nice. Now we can't put full blocks in because we have to be able to open those chests. I doubt they'll ever get that full though. We can go boop, boop. Am I wrong? Can we? No, not yet. Oop. Sweet. Cool. That's good. Storage room is done and dusted. We do have to bring over more smooth stone, unfortunately, to finish off the like little back area here. So we'll go do that quick. Grab some schmoot. What you doing there, buddy? Keeping my boat warm? Okay, okay. Thanks for keeping my boat warm. Smooth stone. Oh. Oh. Oh, speaking of smooth stone, that reminds me of smelting stone into smooth stone, which another thing we did was we let these pass-through furnaces run to process a bunch of charcoal. Heck yeah, nice. I also ran the gold machine a little bit last night. Not AFK, but like did I also smelt this? No, I did not. Smooth stone. Yeah, thank you. Okay, what's junk? That we can trade, that can go, that can go. That can go. I think that's it. I keep throwing my sword on the ground. Where is... I gotta mark these at least, you know? Part of it is I just moved everything around. Oh, I think it's over here. Yeah, it should. Let it put sugarcane and string in the same. Oh well, we'll put string above sugarcane. Dirt, nope. Dirt, nope. Grass, dirt. There's dirt. This smooth andesite. I kind of wanted it to have its own box. Drop this flesh off at the trade hall. Boop, boop. And then what else we got on us here? This can go in here. That can go there. Those can go back. Ooh, shiny. Ooh, shiny. Now, where did I go? Where did I change? Oh. Whatever. Where's mob drops now? You know what? Mob drops are now here. Boop. Boop. Okay. Getting distracted. See? It looks like, I don't know, something out of a computer or something. Or like a giant vending machine, maybe. It looks like a computer component out of a supercomputer. Or kind of like a vending machine. Hoop, hoop. Alright, let's finish off this back here. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, 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 bop. Whee! Oop, oop. I guess we can get picky about it. No, we'll just leave it. Good. That's kind of exposed, but that's okay. Same with that. Yeah, I'm not too picky about that. Now we have to put our tridents back. So I guess you never got to really see this part. This is just a piston on the side of this piston in like that spot there. There's a torch on the side, a redstone torch on the side of this piston. And then there's an observer looking at that torch, pointing into the next piston, and then rinse and repeat. And if you take the lever off, like right now it's powering that one piston, but if you take the lever off, or unpower that piston, sorry, it just does an update like loop, right? And so that will just continue, but if we flip this piston and power it, it like disrupts the loop because it keeps this one piston extended, and it, I guess, powers that one torch, and then the update loop can happen. And then my bedrock has this nice little feature where if you throw, I found out the max a player can have is 5 tridents, because I have 3 in the XP farm and 2 in this farm, and I went to throw another trident one time and I was like, what's going on? How come I don't have any right click? So yeah, you're in bedrock, you can throw them at a piston, and then if you do that loop, it'll just push the tridents around in a circle, and then because they're player thrown, you'll get more drops from the farm. So this farm isn't for the XP at all. It's just player unaliving the creepers so that we can up the profit margin for gunpowder yield, if you will. But yeah, we technically could have this completely solid blocks, but I like to have at least one viewing window, as I put the wrong block. I like to have at least one viewing window. But I guess we gotta kind of release them. Our super shovel will get rid of it fast. Then we'll put the glass bar, your glass block is right beside it. Do this real fast. It's probably best to have the machine on. No, because if I accidentally pick up the tridents, then we have to reset again. Okie dokie. We'll just be real fast. Nope. Not being fast. Oh, it's okay. Taking care of business. Sweet. Alright. Should be up and running again. Pop back down to our little AFK room. It's 5 and 7 right now. If we put half slabs around this place in the ocean, would it stop the drowned from spawning in? These are the questions that I have. Because if it would, that would be, I would totally do that as a little side project. Just encompass the radius around this farm in the ocean so that not even drowns can spawn. But I don't know if they just need like solid water source blocks to spawn in, or if they still have to follow a like spawn mechanic where they have to spawn on a solid block that is surrounded by water source blocks. Because if they still need the solid block to spawn on, then if we could, in theory, half slab the radius around this farm so that the drowned don't spawn, which would help improve rates again. Not that I... Ooh, little voice crack there. Not that I'm worried about, like, top performance. Alright. So we got our first spider unalive. But very, I don't know, simple farm. Hopefully we get a little bit of rates out of it now. It sounded pretty good when we were doing the maintenance on the storage part of the farm. I now understand why Minecraft YouTubers do this. I didn't understand it before, but once you like, you know, you're doing the YouTube and the streaming thing, I now understand why they changed the perspective, because it makes sense. Like, I don't know. Now I feel like I'm talking to you rather than like, this is nice for like explaining, being like, oh, if you hit this button it opens the door, you know what I mean? But like, if you're just talking this view feels more appropriate as a streamer, and now I fully understand it. I didn't, and I understand the whole like clicking to be like, today, today we're going to the Nether. I got my sword ready here. Ah, it now makes sense to me. But yeah, it is nighttime right now, so that is gonna improve the rates slightly. Not that there's much, we're only missing like the top 2 rows of glass, so the rest of the farm should be pretty dark even in the daylight. That's assuming that this tinted glass actually does block all light levels. I don't know. But I hear him getting tumbled around up there, so hopefully it's better. I'm hoping. It should be. Oh yeah. No, it definitely feels faster already. Because we're already back up to 13 in this stack. Okay, and it's daylight. I wonder if there's a place where I could stand. Or if we built another little AFK space. Because see, I am getting... Oh. What was that? That's what that was. And I love that I'm getting I'm getting to the point. Oh, I guess here you can see it. See how every time the signal loops around, it blinks that, which updates that, which sends the signal around, which blinks the torch, which updates the, rinse and repeat, around and around and around it goes. Oh no, okay, yeah, I did see my XP bar move. So I could passively get XP in this farm. Still, because hoppers are... Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because hoppers are transparent, half slabs aren't solid blocks. So that's sweet. That's good to know. Wonder if we can repair our pick standing here. This would be the first farm that I've ever built where it can just passively give me XP completely AFK. All I have to do is turn this farm on, and primarily it's supposed to give us gunpowder and as a secondary byproduct string, and I never intended to be able to harvest the XP out of here, but now that we've redesigned the storage and it sits a little further back in the room now, we're actually close enough that we can draw that XP in. Yeah, our pick's repaired. Yeah. So we are getting XP. For sure we're getting XP. So that's good to know, that every time I use this farm now, that we'll be drinking up a little extra experience too. Not that we really need it. Like, we have 5 like perfect picks. We have, I think, 3 silk touch picks and 2 fortune picks. I still need to make... Oh no, I have a silk touch and a fortune shovel. I have a smite sword and I have a sharpness 5 sword that both have, like, sharpens and smite 5. They both have looting, they both have unbreaking, they both have mending. This one has the extras, like the fire aspect 2 and the knockback 2, but honestly, the only reason our main sword has those is because we rolled them by chance. Like, I wouldn't seek those extras out normally. Fire aspect is honestly, to me, more hindrance than help, because if you hit a zombie with a sharpness sword and it doesn't unalive on the first hit and it happens to punch you, now you're on fire, you know what I mean? And then knockback I don't always like, because a mob drops its drop where it got unalive, but it drops its experience where its body lands, if that makes sense. So that kind of isn't the greatest in all situations, because if you're like, especially when you're unaliving mobs in the water, XP and even fishing, XP will just go running away on you. Ooh, what does this guy have? What do you got? Blue ice. Expensive blue ice. What's up, dude? Oh. We'll go up to the trident tumbler room so we can kind of watch for a second. Like this spider, just sitting there. And he's just gonna sit there until another mob falls in. Because like I said, this is why I rather go through the extra work of making sure that drowned can't spawn in the ocean than spiders not being able to spawn in my farm. And I think a piece of that is, biggest piece of that is because I want the string as a byproduct. You use it in a lot of different components, especially if you're making a bunch of like dispensers that all take a bow to create. Definitely need string. Plus, if you have string on hand, you can craft wool, and so then you don't have to make a wool farm. And I've never really used wool too much in Minecraft, so I'm not too worried about that. But just having enough string on hand that if I ever do need a bunch of wool, or to make a bunch of scaffolding or something, that's why I kind of want to keep it. But like seeing this, and he's been there forever, and we haven't seen any more mobs fall, kind of has me concerned that if I go walking up this scaffolding, we'll go take a look. Let's go do some science. If we peek up through the walls here and we see a ton of spiders just walking around, okay, there's one. Is that a jockey? Why does your face look funny? Yeah, that's a skeleton jockey spider. So it's not... And then this guy is straight confused. Okay, so it's not skeletons have a chance to spawn as spider jockeys. It's spiders have a chance to spawn a skeleton on them. Okay, well, it's not like drastically full. Like if there was like 20-30 spiders, does take them a minute to fall, well, you know what? That's a problem for the future. But yeah, there's not like 20, like, I was expecting like to see like 10, 15, 20 spiders or something like that. But there's only 2, so. Oh, and this one has since perished. But I want to hang out in here for a second, because I do want to see it running in the daylight. Okay, so there's one. I do want to see how well it runs in the daylight hours here, while the sun is still up. Because I don't know, I'm suspicious. It looks really dark in there, but I'm still suspicious of tinted glass, like blocking all light levels. No, it seems pretty decent. Like, that was 4 creepers within, like, I don't know, 30 seconds so far. It definitely wasn't producing this fast when I first built it and was checking it out. So, probably gonna end up doing my overnight session at this farm tonight. Most likely. Ooh, look, 2 at once. And then, yeah, like I said, and then, I don't know, I know in Java, as long as you're holding something with looting on it, look, we got a bat. What the heck? Oh yeah, super high efficient bat farm, by the way. I hope bats don't drop anything. But anyways, Java has this feature where if a mob is unalived while you're holding a looting item, you still get the looting effect. So say you shot an arrow at a skeleton or whatever, and before the arrow hits, you swap over to your sword. When the arrow hits the skeleton and unalives it, the game says, okay, that arrow was shot by a player. Does that player have looting? And then it looks at you after, and then it's like, oh yeah, they're holding a looting sword, so let's do this unalive payout as if they have looting. So, but I don't know if that feature carries over in Bedrock. But if it does, and the Trident Tumbler counts as a player unalive, and then we're holding our looting sword, well then that would just be stupendous. But we're gonna let this run. Is it still daylight? Okay, sun's about to set. Actually, let's just watch the sunset, let the machine run, and okay, we can watch both at once. And then I'm tempted to spend at least a couple more minutes going into night to see if the drop rate feels like it is increased much. I think that spider... Ooh, that creeper got absolutely using... Did you see that creeper? Oh my god. He was like, help me! And then just... Oh my gosh, that was pretty funny. Alright, sun's almost down. Now let's see if this feels like... Why is there a bat outside? Okay, now we're just gonna hang out for a couple more seconds. If I turn away, it's not as loud. That way it's loud, that way it's not as loud. Well, what if we stand over here? Nope. Yeah, we're gonna stand here for a couple more minutes just to see if it feels like it's... Because maybe it runs slower. See, in that spider getting pushed through the glass block, that's exactly why we don't AFK in this room. We could put a solid block here and AFK in this room. Or here, sorry. And then another one behind it. But I want to be able to see what's happening. Plus, going down in the storage room makes us, you know, another 6 blocks below our spawning platforms, which would just help the farm. Because at this height, I think the first floor of spawning platforms can barely spawn because they're just within our 30 block radius. But when we're down there, it's just outside of our 30 block radius that they can't spawn in. But now I actually have a theory that this might run slower at night because more drowns can spawn, or I don't know. I guess light level doesn't matter for drowns. We might look into half slabbing the bottom of the ocean around here then. I don't know, that might be the most viable thing to do. Help me! Help me! Okay, we'll give it a couple more seconds here. Have a sip of my coffee in the meantime. There's way more bats spawning than I thought. And I don't get why they're like, do they fly down by default or something? See? Spider jockey. That was that spider jockey. So it's spiders that have a possibility to spawn in skeletons on their back. I always thought it was a skeleton having a chance to spawn as a spider jockey, but I guess it's based on the skeleton spawn. I don't know. It doesn't seem... And honestly, it seemed to go into a lull when the day swapped over from day to night. At least that's how it feels to me, because now it feels like it's picked back up now, and we're seeing creepers fall more often. Alright. That's good. Let's see what that produced in that time. Oh wow, quite a few were spider jockeys, I suppose. But up to 37 and 46 in that first stack. It's pretty good. Alrighty, creeper farm, quality of life updates made. We just need a couple more stacks of amethyst to make a couple more stacks of tinted glass. And we need like literally 2 stacks, like one or 2 stacks, which is unfortunate. Because that means to get our 2 stacks, we need 4 stacks of amethyst shards. Which isn't like, you know... But it means another AFK session sometime. For sure. Regardless, let's go to sleep. Get rid of this spooky nighttime. And actually, totally randomly, but inspired moment here, we're gonna make a map. We're gonna do a couple things quick here, actually. You can copy a map, or you know what? This one's just taken from the island. Let's do a map, and then we do that. Oh, I thought you could... I guess you have to make it an actual map of something first. So that's just a copy of that. But now... Or does this have to be done in a cartography table? Yeah, it should be like zoomed out. So we'll have to go fill this in. We'll fill that in one day. But I want to do... Oops. I want to do one for the creeper farm area. Even though it'll just look like a big box on an island from above. But regardless, I want it mapped. What's another farm that we could put over here that's fully AFK? That we could put on top of that little island? Maybe we do another sugarcane. Just build a sugarcane tower. It looks glitched. I was like, why is your map broken? Actually, that's a sugarcane farm. Oh, maybe we'll do creeper face grayscale like we were talking about with these. But we'll do it on the roof. Oh, look at that. Put it over there. Fun. Where is it in relation to... Because this is our house. We run this way to go to the farm. So actually, if we just swap these, that should, yeah, look at that. There we go. Big brains, big brains. Cool. I like maps. Looks cool. I think that's pretty much, because that's our cobble farm, that's the lava farm, that's the farm complex, that's the bamboo farm, that's the gold farm, that's the potion / XP complex, that's the storage unit, you know, that right out there. So yeah, I think that's all of our builds in these two maps, so we don't really have a reason to expand to these other maps yet. But eventually we will. Eventually we will. Let's get back into storage. Oh, I done did it again. I left my ender chest somewhere. Well, that's why we made spares. Oh, we're up 2 hoppers after we reworked that storage. Which that storage should never fill all those double chests we have over there. That's overkill. We could have got away with like 1 double chest. That's simple. But, you know, that's fine. Maybe I'll be lazy one day and I'll just be like, no, I'll leave it over here. And then I'll forget that it's over there, and then I'll run it again. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I have so much gunpowder. Good thing I have all this storage. What's next? What's next? Do we want to go build a blaze farm? Do we want to start building a... Maybe we'll build a Piglin bartering hall. And then just move the piglins into it when it's ready. So what do we need for that? We need lots of storage. We need a way to fill the storage. We need a fast moving clock to move a sticky piston. That sticky piston needs to have a gold block on it. Wee, 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 wee. Need a gold block. That's basically everything we need. I guess what's it called? Lever, so we can lock the piston so that the clock can stop when we don't want to use the machine. Oh, I guess we need... How many cells do we want? Yeah, why not? 5. We'll go to 5. Okay. That will deliver the gold to the piglins. The fast piston clock moving, or observer clock moving the gold block will reset their trades really fast. Turn the system off with that lever. Then we need to move signal around so that when we turn the block moving machine, it will also activate a line of redstone behind the droppers so that they're rapidly ticking too to drop off gold. And then we need mass storage above to hold a lot of gold. So we have to make another barrel. I have no wood. Are you kidding me again? Oh, I want to use barrels so I can build around them. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter because that system's kind of on the top, so we can just get away with chests. So storage, filling storage, delivering items, holding mass items, moving the block, moving the signal. Maybe some repeaters. I have no repeaters left. Repeaters, and we need torches. Oh, 69 torches. Nice. Lots of torches now. We need stone. Oop. Got lots of that now. Just make a bunch of repeaters because we're going to need them anyways eventually. Okay, moving the signal. I think that's everything we need other than like just basic building blocks, which we got lots of that too. Oh, hello, horsey. Yeah. I think that's all we need. And then we'll just have to fill it with actual, so I guess we'll bring trapdoors. So we have to make them fall in. And then I'm actually not gonna sleep right now because we're going... No. I forgot about this. I was supposed to do some maintenance. I was supposed to do some maintenance before going back to the nether again. Okay, well, we're bringing fire potions because last time I went to the nether, I guess a creeper had walked through my overworld portal. And I went to the nether and it blew up. It broke the portal. It sent me flying off of the, like, Sky Island that are portals in the nether. I went falling, plummeting like 120 some blocks into a lava pool, and then I basically ate gapples continuously till I finished swimming out of the lava lake onto a little island. Then I pillared up, back up, all the way up to like the nether ceiling to where my portal was, and quickly rebuilt it, the flooring around it, and then I was like, I'm out of here. But I never went back and improved the flooring situation, and I want to put fencing around the overworld portal so that we can't have creepers walking in there anymore. Oh no, I wanted to do this. It's okay, we dealt with it before, we can deal with it again. We have apples, we'll bring potions, we're okay. Our inventory's getting full. Okay, let's go put up this fence first and foremost. Because and it's my fault. Like the AFK shack is right there, so if a creeper spawns over here and is like, oh, I'm just gonna wander around, like obviously it's gonna get transported, right? So we're just gonna mitigate that issue. Well, I guess we want one on each side, right? By going like this. And now mobs can't go into my portal and be waiting for me on the other side. So when I go through, they go, hello, goodbye. Cause yeah, it was chaos. I hear the like wub 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 of the nether, and I'm like, okay, I'm here. And then as soon as I hear that wub wub, I hear the tss of the creeper, and I'm like, uh-oh, spaghetti-o. And then you hear the creeper explosion. I heard the rattle of skeleton bones, but that skeleton didn't have time to do nothing, just like me. And then I heard the creeper explosion, and then I heard the shattering glass noise of the portal break. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then suddenly I was just falling. It was just lava. That wasn't fun. I didn't like it. But we got to quickly just flick this. There we go. I don't want those portals lit, because it's close enough to that our overworld portal that I have a chance that if I come back from the nether, it could be like, oh, well, I found a portal. It's over here. And mislink, and I come out in the gold farm. Okay. Well, I'm literally going to gapple up a couple times before we even go through the nether. And we'll pop... Oh, good thing I never grabbed those potions. We're also going to pop a potion of fire resist before we go into the nether. And who knows, maybe... Oh, I guess I could save on inventory space by going like that. Maybe it's going to be completely fine. Nothing's going to happen. But I'd rather be safe than sorry, because last time was not fun. The adrenaline spike was not cool, man. Okay. Okay. We're good. We're good. But I do want to quickly, because this is more blast resistant than, and this is our ladder, by the way. It's made of sand. See what I did? So this is how we get down to our kind of nether highway at the bottom of the world. And it's all just sand and gravel. So when a creeper blew up right here, or here-ish, sent me flying, it blew up big enough that I went tumbling down into that. And then I swam that way. Or no, wait. I swam... Which way did I swim? Oh, this way. I swam this way. And I ended up coming Yeah. I fell down over there. I had to, yeah, like over there. First, I had to come up all the way because I fell so deep into the lava. And then I slowly slam over to this island. And then you can see, I just pillared up here, dug into the wall, and then I was like, okay, I'm home safe. But we need to drastically update what's going on here because this is much better blast resistance comparatively. I mean, I know we just mitigated mobs coming in here by fencing off the overworld portal, but something happens to you in hardcore and you get really paranoid really fast and you're like, well, that's never gonna happen again. You know? Anyways, this is what I'm mostly worried about, and honestly on the back we should almost just completely box it in. Yay, safe. Brick. Okay, now I'm pretty sure we're in a nether waste. Pretty sure. Yeah, so piglins, like I know zombified piglins have a chance, but piglins should also have a chance to spawn. Oh, no, there's one time I was going back from the nether and they started shooting at me. They came from over here somewhere. So yeah, no. It shouldn't be a problem getting them to spawn. So then we're gonna make the Piglin bartering hall just like right here. So whenever we come from the nether, we can just barter. We don't have to go to some special biome or anything. Want the chest to be floor height. Let's get rid of this unsightly cobble. Yeah. Beautiful. Cool. Alrighty. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Three, 4, 5. But we will need exterior walls. Alrighty. Once again, building a farm. Where? Oh, we brought chests. 1 cell, 2 cells, 3 cells. 4 and 5. Good, good, good. Then we want at least 2 double chests per unit. Building a very similar design to the one I built in my realm server, except for this is a 5 station, whereas the one in my realm is only 3. But when you individualize each, oh, they're way too close together. We need more space. Can't have them right next to each other. Whoopsie. Maybe we will just make it a 3 trade. Yeah, you know what? It'll be fast enough for just us. Because the one I built, that's 3 Piglin trader on my realm server. It was enough to fuel a realm, so we'll go with this. Good, good, good. Shouldn't need more storage than that. And eventually, I don't know if we'll ever run this on a sorting. I don't know if we'll run this on a sorting system ever. Just because there's so much produced by a bartering farm that it's like, oh, why wouldn't you sort it? But it's like, it's so much to sort. Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure I'll get bored one day and be like, you know what we're gonna do today? We're gonna add sorters to the Piglin bartering system. I'm sure that will happen one day, but until then, we're just gonna leave it as individual cells. This will be the hopper that the Piglin is standing on. Whoop, whoop. And then we'll have to put glass in the front so we can still open the chest. I didn't bring glass. I knew I'd forget something. Alrighty then. That's fine. We don't need the glass right now. But then the farm's basically done. Yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna just quickly show you how the clock is gonna go then. Essentially, what we're gonna have, I'll put it here for now. Is one of these, then we're gonna go like this. And then we'll put a lever on it. That way we can lock the system. And then we're going to put a block so that it moves a block back and forth. And what happens is Piglins, anytime you move a gold block, they go from trade mode. This is Bedrock, by the way, not Java. they go from trade mode to battle mode. But then when they get a piece of gold delivered to them, they're like, ooh, I don't care about battling. I want to trade this gold. And so the machine will have a signal coming out the back here that will be pulsing the dropper, which we can also show you right now, which will be pulsing the dropper, and then that will have gold in it, which will feed them gold into their little cell. And then so as they're getting gold, they're like, oh, I want to barter. But then because the gold block moves, they're like, oh, gold's moving in the nether, I have to fight. But then they get another piece of gold and they're like, oh, I want to barter. And so you can trade super fast by doing something like that. That's basically how the gold farm is going to work. But I think that is where we're going to call it for this stream. I can hear my partner has gone home from work now, so I want to go and see them. So we're going to call it here for now, but thank you for tuning in. We got that creeper farm almost built, and we started building our Piglin bartering hall. I might do a second stream tonight, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a good time in whatever time zone you're from, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, I almost forgot. Stay odd. Bye-bye.